Pepe, you're welcome to the programme. The fighters in Latakia, they do enjoy the support of Turkey. Why would Ankara, this is something we've been trying to get our head around, support people who shout a battle cry of the Islamists, the terrorist group here?
Well, look, let's start with T.S. Eliot, the hollow man, you know, the famous poem, The Hollow Man, the stuffed man, head filled with straw. The problem is now we have a hollow man with a pathetic excuse for a caliph or a sultan, Erdogan. And he's going completely crazy because now, not only Russia, as President Putin did at the G20 in Antalya, but also the Europeans have identified clearly the very close links between the Erdogan machine, the AKP party, Turkish intelligence, Turkish police all over, smugglers all around, directly and indirectly with Daesh and Jabhat al-Nusra. There is a paper, a research paper at Columbia University, that it's not an exhaustive research, but it details, like, you know, by the millimeter, all these interactions. So not only Ankara directly is supporting all these trends of Salafi jihadism, from Jabhat al-Nusra to Ahrar al-Sham to Daesh, but they offer logistical support. They buy their oil because they can have cheap oil for many different regional powers in Turkey. They facilitate a corridor in many different places of the Turkish-Syrian border. Like we have Erdogan on the record saying, for instance, that the town of Jarablus is a red line. Jarablus happens to be one of the key crossing points for everything related to Daesh and other Salafi jihadi groups, weaponizing, oil smuggling, traffic of jihadis. Abdelhamid Abaoud, who the alleged mastermind or ringleader of the Paris attacks, crossed back and forth at this particular place at least 4 times in 2015. You cannot do this if you're not protected by Turkish border police, Turkish intelligence, etc.
Sorry for interrupting, because I just want to get your thoughts on a whole range of issues here. The information's coming into us thick and fast. But just in general, first and foremost, could this incident actually be a sign that the West needs to change its stance in the conflict?
No, it's much more complicated than that. First of all, we have to look at Erdogan's motivations. He's absolutely terrified by the fact that collusion between Ankara and Turkish intelligence and Turkish police with Daesh is being unmasked, not only by Russia, but also by the Europeans, and even by research purpose in the United States, for that matter. He lost his bet on having a no-fly zone, which the Turks were calling safe zone, inside Syrian territory, 35 kilometers deep, and it happens to be an area that very close to the incident that happened today. If you look at the map, is more to the right. It's about 50, 60 kilometers to the right, if you look at the map, in fact, between Afrin and Jarablus, in fact. This safe zone will be built as a no-fly zone, patrolled by NATO Turkish jets, and it would be like a sort of huge mini concentration camp for Syrian refugees inside Russian territory. And on top of it, Erdogan was bribing Angela Merkel for 3 billion euros to set up this mini concentration camp, which is completely crazy. And on top of it, he wanted his no-fly zone. When he saw that he will never have his no-fly zone because Russian planes and the Russian campaign is actually going after not only Daesh, but all strands of Salafi jihadism along the Turkish-Syrian border, this can be read as a provocation. It's a way for Erdogan to bring NATO to the table. So the discussions at NATO, extraordinary meeting, they are already saying that they're not going to invoke Article 4, which means an attack. And there was no attack on a NATO member. In fact, it was a NATO member that attacked Russia. This is even worse. So they are implying that Russia will retaliate. The Russian response is going to be much more calibrated, will be colder, it will be swift, and the Turks will have it when they cannot see it coming.
Pepe Escobar, political analyst, we appreciate your thoughts on the issue this hour. Thanks for joining us.